This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in our Los Angeles bureau. Today we are joined by the mayor of Carson. His name is Albert Robles. And I have to tell you, if you have not been to Carson lately, you need to go because this city is hopping. I mean, you really are on the verge of greatness if you haven't reached it already.
Yes, thank you, Brad. Yeah, you're right. Carson is on the move.
Right.
We're centrally located by 4 or 5 freeways. And
right between kind of LA and Long Beach.
Long Beach, and we're accessible to literally a market that consists of 20 million residents. Our population is only 100,000,
nice.
but within a 25-mile radius, we have a population that's just enormous, and we're ready for business.
Right, and I want to talk about some of these opportunities. I'm sure that Carson was a little disappointed when the NFL chose Englewood over Carson, but you're not going to worry about it. You're going to move forward, and you're already moving forward. The site that you were looking at was about 157 acres.
Correct.
And you want to do something with it.
Yes.
What do you plan on doing?
Well, right now, we have an exclusive negotiating agreement with the second largest mall developer in the United States, Maestridge.
Sure.
And we're hoping to finalize the agreement and have a development agreement in place within the next 30 to 60 days.
And when you say mall, do you mean a traditional mall or outlets?
It's an outlet mall, but not just any outlet mall.
Tell me.
It's a high-end fashion outlet mall with Prada, the high-end
Wow.
fashion stores. And we're excited about that. And in the past, there have been other proposals that have come
Right.
before us, but what happened as a result of this NFL process that the city went through is that for the first time in the city's history, we now own that land free and clear.
How?
It was always in private hands. It was a former landfill, and it had been bought and purchased and acquired by different entities. But when the Chargers and the Raiders were proposing the football stadium, the city of Carson had already been considered for football stadium in the past 20 years at least twice. And we had a plan with the owner of the land, which was not the city, to build mixed-use development, which included an outlet mall. And we're like, well, we're on track to move this forward, and we don't want to be sidetracked by this NFL proposal. So as a condition of dealing with the Chargers and the Raiders, we said, well, if you're so confident that we're going to get the football stadium, if we don't, we get the land free and clear. And they said, okay.
So you bought it.
So we got it for free. We didn't buy it. We just got it for free. It's pretty phenomenal. And, you know, it's one of the things that isn't highlighted. But in April of this year, the city, its reclamation authority, acquired the 157-acre site free and clear without any encumbrances. And
do you need to remediate because it was a landfill?
Well, so it's pretty much remediated.
Okay.
When we were going through the NFL process, we knew from the previous owner that the land was pretty much ready for development.
Okay.
All the methane gas extraction system is already in place. The groundwater recovery system is already in place. The only thing left is to put a top liner on top.
Right.
And that depends on what's going to be constructed on top.
Are you going to get one of those concrete liners that will take water in and percolate it nicely into the groundwater basin?
Well, no, it's going to be a liner that's impenetrable. It's not going to allow any water to seep in because we don't want it to come into the landfill.
Collect it?
Yes, and it'll be run off and captured and treated.
Perfect.
Yes.
Nice, nice. Okay, so that's one opportunity, but we're not done. There are more opportunities in Carson. Oh, little boys and big boys are going to enjoy this. Why don't you tell us? Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, and the NFL site was 157 acres.
Right.
The mall, the outlet mall, is only for 60 acres.
Okay.
So we then put out a RFQ for a master developer for the balance.
Request for proposal.
Yes. Yeah. And we received 7 proposals, and our staff is evaluating them now.
Okay.
And we hope to make a decision in the next month and a half or so.
Let's talk about Daredevils. They're going to enjoy themselves because by the end of this year, there will be a pretty exciting, we'll call it amusement park for adults opening up. Can I call it that?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually refer to it as Disneyland for adults.
For adults,
so it's perfect.
And it is known as the Porsche Driving Experience. Tell us about it, Mayor.
So Porsche has constructed 5 Porsche Experience around the world. One in Germany, where their company's headquartered, one in London, one in Dubai in the Middle East, one in Shanghai, which has incredible wealth and millionaires, And they say Los Angeles, but it's actually located in Carson. And we're excited. That's going to open up again before the end of the year. And they're expecting to draw in tourists from literally around the world.
Literally.
And they're going to be coming to Carson. And it's not going to be cheap. And but it's going to draw people from all over the world to Carson.
So it's a course.
Yes.
And you can, there's a dynamics area, a handling circuit, low friction circle, low friction handling circuit, kick plates. You can drive Boxsters, Caymans, 911 turbos, GT3s. This is for real.
And they actually have a Porsche museum on site there, and there's a 4-star restaurant on the property. Carson's first, so we're excited about that.
Land? I mean, you're not built out?
No, we're not built out. We're actually one of the few communities in the entire South Bay that still has land ready and available for development, and it's due in part to our history. Carson used to be literally the dumping ground for LA County, so we had more landfills per square mile than any other city around. So this land that was former landfill went undeveloped because it was so expensive to remediate the property. Hence we have these vacant lots. But now with the value of land being as high as it is, it now makes economic sense for developers to come forward and say, hey, we will treat in a the contaminated site, and we will deal with it and we can build on it.
So my daughters are soccer players.
Yes.
And we love going to StubHub Center because you got a great soccer stadium at Cal State Dominguez Hills.
I like to say it's the best in the world.
It really is phenomenal. There's a lot of energy. It creates kind of an excitement the way it's built.
Right, it gives you this intimate sense. It's small. It's big enough for big events, but it's a small, intimate venue that you feel you're right there.
But here's another example of how you have land to build out, because on the Cal State Dominguez Hills campus, there are 2 plots, one right next to StubHub, 29 acres, a smaller one that's 4 acres, and then a much larger one on the other side of campus, 89 acres.
Yes, Cal State Dominguez, which is entirely within the city of Carson, is one of literally a handful of universities in the state, either UC or Cal State, that has still room for growth and expansion. And I've met with the president of Cal State Dominguez, and he's excited at the prospect that within a very few short years, that Cal State campus population, in terms of its student population, is going to increase significantly, and they're going to need more student housing.
Right, so that could be that 89 acres possibly.
Correct.
What about the part next to the StubHub Stadium? It's about 29 acres. I mean, parking can be a little tricky now, but not too bad.
Well, that's the one complaint that we don't have about the StubHub, that parking, because it's so much space is available.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but so what we're looking to do, or what the university is exploring, is because that corner is centrally located, very close to the 91 freeway and off of Avalon Boulevard at Key Street, to do a mixed-use development there, which will include some restaurants, stores.
For students, for the community, for both?
For the community and the students, for both. And it's exciting. There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
You know, most cities in the South Bay are fully developed, and they're wondering what's coming next, but here in Carson, we're excited. Yes.
Congratulations. He is the mayor of Carson. He is Albert Robles, and he is joining us from our Los Angeles bureau. My name is Brad Pomerance. It's Local Edition.